Welcome everybody to another shocking true crime story episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, in this story, I'm not gonna lie, it brought back some memories. I used to do stuff very similar, but it never ended to this extreme. But we're gonna speak about egging a house, a prank that went extremely wrong. So wrong to the point where people were charged with malice murder. Everyone involved's already been charged, convicted, and sentenced. Stay tuned till the end, you won't believe what happened to them. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Now this story begins July 3rd, 2023 in Spalding County, Georgia. The people involved in the situation here are Jonathan Gilbert, 22, Sydney Morgan, 18, Jeremy Munson, 18, and Mackenzie Davenport, 19. Also, Kaylee Morgan. This was the individual's house where everything took place. Now, all of the stuff that's about to unfold was behind a simple lover's quarrel. Jonathan had a past with Sydney. It was his ex-girlfriend. But Jonathan had a best friend who happened to have been Kaylee Morgan. But they were becoming more close along the lines of a relationship, girlfriend-boyfriend. Now, Kaylee Morgan invited Jonathan to stay at her house for a week. While he's at the house, his ex-girlfriend Sydney gets wind of this and becomes furious, wants to go egg the house and fight the girl that he's with her friends Jeremy Munson and Mackenzie Davenport. Now, Sydney, Jeremy, and Mackenzie get up into the car and they go down to Dobbins Mill Road. While they were there, Jonathan went to the front yard and confronted him. If I were to guess, he probably heard the eggs hitting the roof or whatever. It doesn't really say how he was alerted to come out, but he did. It says that Sydney became even more angry that Jonathan was at the house, and she and Davenport began not only throwing eggs, but rocks at him as well. It says that Jonathan then approaches the car unarmed, and Sydney takes Jeremy Munson's gun and shoots the 22-year-old victim 2 times. If I were to guess, Jeremy was probably trying to lean in for that new relationship, stand up for her and take over Jonathan's spot. I don't know, but this seems like to be a common blueprint with these type of situations. Someone in the relationship gets mad, they go get their gangster homeboy with a gun, roll with them to go get some revenge. Jeremy probably didn't even want to shoot the guy, man, and that's when Cindy said, "Give me that damn gun, let me handle this." Sadly, if I were to guess, it's probably how it happened. But poor Jonathan in there kicking it with a new girl, having the time of his life, man, ends up getting gunned down by his 18-year-old girlfriend, possibly ex-girlfriend, whatever. Unreal, man. You got to be careful when approaching vehicles, especially in a, extremely emotional situation like this. You never know who the girl or guy brought in that car with him. It says that Mackenzie Davenport ran from the car immediately to get help, and that's probably what saved her in this situation. A lot of people, man, just because it's their friends or whatever, they'll probably dip out from the scene and not say nothing. I didn't shoot him. I didn't pull the trigger. I'm just going to stay in my lane and the cut over here to see if things blow over. That ain't how it works. You're going to be held responsible. Your best chances of not being held responsible is by immediately, like Davenport did, running and calling 911. And judging by their actions to do that, they probably had no idea that anything like this was going to unfold. But it says Mackenzie Davenport ran from the car to get some help and was able to get someone to call 911. Sydney and Jeremy left the scene and went to Sydney's parents' home. Sydney and Jeremy told Sydney's father what happened and gave him the handgun, which he hid in the closet, the DA said. So now they're throwing the dad into the mix. Fathers out there, what would you do if, something like this came your way? Daughter with some guy, we just killed someone, this is the gun. What should we do, Dad? I'm gonna say, y'all need to carry y'all's fucking asses out my living room and hope they don't ask me to testify, because I'm telling. I'll just play. I wouldn't go that far. But I would tell him, get the hell off my living room with those crime scene sneakers. But the father decided to go gangster, hide the gun in the closet. He ended up telling them not to call the police, but to let the police find them. Sydney and Jeremy then go to work at Pizza Hut. Oh no, they work at Pizza Hut together. Another very common blueprint, man. Your significant other's making bonds with men while she's flipping pizza. You do her dirty, she's gonna get him to come with her. It says that deputies found them after Davenport left her shoes and cell phone in the car when she ran to call 911. So yeah, she left so fast that she dropped all that stuff. Probably realized as she's running, the phone was in there and had to stop at some random person's house. Yeah, she had no idea that this was going to take place. Now, like I said, all this has already went through the court process. People been convicted and sentenced. But before we get into that, let me just say this, all right? My condolences go out to old Jonathan's family. Very sad and unexpected situation. But I got a clip here of Kaylee Morgan speaking about everything, how it unfolded, what she seen. Keep in mind, Kaylee was Jonathan's best friend. They were the ones that were becoming more of a relationship. And it was Kaylee's house where everything took place. After the clip, I'll let you know exactly how much time these individuals got.
He came outside to confront her. They all ran back to the car. And from what I think happened, she shot him when he was running up to the car in the chest, and then went to go turn away and shot him in the neck. And then he just collapsed. And he was alive for about 10 minutes, begging for somebody to help him. So it is very sad because he lost his dad that way. And from what I've heard, Jeremy got out of the car and snatched his necklace off of him. And it was his dad's ashes. And so he was begging for his life, and nobody knows what was going through his mind at the time. But it's very sad to see that she has no remorse for anything that she has done, nor Jeremy. And it's sad they're 18, just for them to throw their life away like that over something very childish.
Can you believe that? Homeboy went and snatched his chain. I don't know if he knew that that was his dad's ashes or not, but man, if he did, that's absolute treachery. What if the girl said, hey, he wears his dad's ashes around his neck, snatch it from him too? I don't know, because you would think it ain't all blinged up or nothing. Some jewelry that you think you would want to steal, you know? So maybe she did get grimy like that and tell him to take it. But according to the DA's office, Mackenzie Davenport, the individual that ran from the car and went and called 911, she entered a plea to 2 misdemeanor charges based on her involvement in the incidents before the murder. Probably egging the house or whatever, you know? But like I said, what saved her, if she went with them and just didn't say nothing, she'd be facing way more time. What saved her was leaving and calling police. Anything like this ever happens to you, man, I strongly suggest you do the same damn thing. Now, Jeremy Munson, the individual that brought the gun to the scene and was snatched from him by Sydney, his case is still open. He's fighting as we speak. But Sydney Morgan, she has already pled guilty to malice murder, and she was sentenced to life in prison. The DA's office said that Morgan cannot be considered for parole until she has served every day of at least 30 years. And she still has to go in front of the parole board, so she could get denied for another 10 to 20. Who knows? Either way, when she does get out, if she gets out, there's definitely going to be 4 doors on a microwave. I wish I was in the courtroom watching that smoke session, but either way, Jeremy, he's going to definitely have his day. As soon as the court process is done, I'm sure he's probably firing all his court-appointed attorneys as many times as he can, trying to find loopholes, shuck and jive. But you can tell by his photo, I mean, he's wearing a green suit. He ain't having an easy time in jail, I guess. That usually means you are in a dry cell. You know, probably saying that you're going to commit self-harm. Put you in a cell butt naked with that gown and nothing but your thoughts. Even the water's turned off. You got people watching you take a dump and all that stuff when you're wearing that suit. Also, if I were to bet it all, he's going to be getting that L note as well. Life jank, no parole. Even though he didn't pull the trigger, it doesn't matter, man. He's the one that snatched the ashes, and he's the one that brought the gun to begin with. But I'll be following his case, and I'll give you an update as soon as he goes through the sentencing. Hopefully they record it, man. I would love to react to it. But I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode and learned, it doesn't matter if you pulled the trigger or not. In the beginning, all 3 of these individuals were charged with malice murder. You're going to be charged and you're going to have to fight for your innocence just because you were around the person that did it. You were their friend. You came to the scene with them. That's the process. Remember that. If you want to go out and have a good time with one of those hothead gangster friends of yours. You know he got a Glock in his waistband too, man. Yeah, go ahead and just tell everybody you got a cold and you need to go home and get some rest. Because you don't want to be held accountable what that idiot does tonight. But like I said, I'm out of here, and stay tuned for more of a consistent flow of content for anybody that might be new. I drop much more than what you've been seeing lately. It's just been the holidays, man. It's been fun, but hectic. I got a lot planned for 2025, not to mention that 1 milli should be right around the corner. And for anybody that follows my second channel, 23 and Fun, be on the lookout, man. They have this new Aliens game coming out. It's only for VR. Man, oh man, it's gonna be fun. But I gotta figure out how I'm gonna record it and stuff and upload it for my viewers to see. It's gonna be strange, I guess. I probably got to pull out the green screen. And anybody trying to buy a hat right now, unfortunately, they are sold out. I'll get some more stocked up after the new year, not to mention other apparel. I got some really good stuff coming y'all's way. But until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your New Year's Eve. And more importantly than anything, stay free. Feeling a little wobbly? Get your ass in an Uber.